I think we need to talk about Helldivers. I think, yeah. You know, we talked about some shit. We made ourselves feel bad. It is time to turn that around. Let us watch this lovely Bellular video about the goodness of Helldivers.
Today, I've just got to get us started off with a quote. So here
we
goes.
love Bellular.
You have
Bellular always is amazing. Give him a like, give him a sub. If you're not subbed to Bellular, you guys are missing out. One of the best YouTube creators for gaming news ever. And I watch a lot of his videos. And he likes to cover good news. He loves to cover bad news. And you know, just tell it how it is. Definitely. I try to emulate some of my content a little bit after him. And sometimes we watch his content for a stream. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This is the lovely Bellular.
Right to monetize. I truly...
Reading this after that entire segment with Skull and Bones is insane, by the way. This is the CEO of Helldivers saying that he believes that games have to earn the right to monetize. Comparing that with Ubisoft. Holy shit. Talk about night and day, guys. Talk about night and day.
Believe that. If people want to support this title, they have the option, but we are never forcing anyone to do so. And that's really the
nice,
quote wrong out. You have to earn the right to monetize. And these words come from the CEO of Arrowhead, Johan.
That's rare. Like, hearing a CEO of a gaming company say that is super rare.
Pilstead, and these are in response to thanks. Thanks from players of Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting game because it's the first live service title that's been launched under PlayStation's ongoing but recently cut down live service plan.
And I will add, Bellular, that it is the only good Sony live service game that I've seen thus far. Like, there's been a lot of crap live service games. Having played Helldivers, chat, you've seen me play Helldivers. I think a lot of you have tried Helldivers as well. It's a good game. And one of the best things about it is it does not force the microtransactions at all. In any way, shape, or form. You can get the premium currency in droves by just playing the normal game. It is great. It is so well made.
And as this game is blowing up in player counts and the internet's becoming more and more flooded with memes and reviews and captured footage that's very bombastic and cool looking, well, let's check in whether Helldivers 2 and Arrowhead have actually done the work. How much they have or have not earned the right to monetize, as their CEO has indeed put it. Now, I would like to think that slowly that is...
Small L, the flamethrower in this game sucks. I mean, that just means I won't use the flamethrower, but man, it's just really not that good.
Something that we are more and more doing, and well, here's the deal. We publish exclusive content on bellular.ghost.io. Over there, you'll get access to loading screen. That's our
I will
daily
never
newsletter.
skip
You'll
Bellular
reports
ad.
like this one before I even see the report.
Man
and
deserves
of course,
a
early
success.
and ad-free access to our videos, and of course the members lounge. And honestly, here the deal is pretty simple. Ad revenue per 1,000 views is down quite a lot compared to where it used to be for us. So essentially,
YouTube does not make as much money anymore.
I am trying as hard as I
Sadly.
can to lead our team in a responsible fashion, and of course to make our content better, to make it more consistent. Basically what we do here is, it is our mission, and well, as my end of the bargain, I endeavor to make as much progress as I can with your support. So thank you. The link is down below. And with that said, let's get stuck in.
Where did the money go? Ad revenue is just down because I don't know if it's YouTube taking more money or what, but it's just yeah, it's very bad for a lot of YouTube content creators. I'm not even monetized on YouTube, so it's nothing that directly affects me yet, but it will affect me in the future. At some point, I'll hit 1,000 subs, but it's gonna take a while. It's a hard place to grow, YouTube. But yeah, the monetization is apparently a lot worse. A lot of if you noticed, I don't know if you noticed, Beard Ball Guy, about a lot of creators leaving YouTube. I think the ad revenue going down is a big part of it.
Helldivers, a game that honestly I am very excited to jump into. So what is Helldivers 2? Well, first up, it comes from then you had Helldivers 1 coming out in 2015. It looks very different to Helldivers 2 though, because
yeah, Helldivers 1 was a top-down
isometric twin-stick co-op shooter where essentially you are...
Which also looks pretty good. Like, this reminds me a little bit of like a mix between Smash TV. I don't know if anyone remembers Smash TV, which is a twin-stick shooter, way back in the arcade days. And a little bit of that mixed with kind of like a feel of Starship Troopers. But it looks really good.
The titular Helldivers, who are, you know, fighting bugs on behalf of Super Earth to defend democracy. The satire is...
Wait, if there's a mech in this game, can we at some point in Helldivers 2 get a mech? Because I would love to be in a mech. It was a decently fun arcade shooter. Oh no, this wasn't the arcade shooter. This is like a normal game on Steam. But there was an arcade shooter called Smash TV, which this reminds me of. I've not played this one. You remember playing Smash TV on the NES? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Smash TV, then Super Smash TV for Super NES. That version was the arcade version as well. And oh my god, those are such fun games. Holy smokes.
It's great. There's obviously a lot of inspiration from Starship Troopers. And on launch on the PS3, PS4, and the Vita, big rip.
The Vita!
People basically loved it. It did really well, and it actually became the first Sony-published game on the PC, 9 months after. Helldivers 2 is all of that, but, well, it's definitely a lot higher budget, and I suppose similar to with the previous exclusive Returnal, there is very much a step up.
It's truly a jump, like a positive jump. It's so rare to see a game do this, or a game company do this, where they, like, jump, and each one is just better and better and better. Well, to be fair, I never played Magica, but, like, still, big successes, and this is great. This is really nice to see.
As we're moving into the PS5, an isometric game has turned into a third-person shooter, of course taking advantage of the PS5 to, well, have very large hordes of bugs. So in a sense, Helldivers 2 is kind of merging the new with the old. It's taking inspirations from its...
The facial animations for this game, even though it's like small cutscenes, is legitimately better than Skull and Bones. I just want to point that out. I just want to toss that out there, guys.
Stick original self, I think likely taking some
not
inspiration
AAA, by
from,
the way.
The feeling of some Gears of War and that kind of thing, and it's wrapping it up in a very novel package with, I would say, pretty damn genius, like, macro narrative design. It's really strong. Now, pre-launch, there were some concerns. This was going to be a simultaneous launch on the PC and the PS5, but would not be a simultaneous launch was the reviews, because there were, in fact...
And the servers were on fire at the beginning. I did not play this game when the servers were on fire, and a lot of people were pissed, but they fixed that real fast.
No pre-launch
reviews back by some
for
heavy hitters?
Yeah, 2.
Exactly.
That is certainly something that does...
Not even just some heavy hitters, Hopeful Zero, it's backed by Sony. Like, just straight up. It's not backed by a heavy hitter, it's backed by one of the heaviest hitters possible, Sony. But it's worth it. It's worth it.
Spook people. Now, there's no suggestion that we could find that Sony were essentially like blacklisting people or anything like that, but essentially it dropped without reviews. There wasn't a humongous amount of before launch coverage, and to a degree, this does kind of make sense. I mean, if you're reviewing a...
Dude, I saw one trailer for this game last year during, I think, the Game Awards, right? Or something else. I think it was the Game Awards. And that was literally it. That was my only single... And I didn't even remember the trailer. Like, way back, about a week ago, is when a friend, I think it was Aku, right? Was it you, Aku, that told me about this game? Someone sent me the trailer for it, and I watched it on stream, and I was like, holy crap, this looks good. I need to look into this. And, no, it was Darkshade. It was Darkshade sent me this trailer. Because we play some of these games together. And, yeah, this is, Sony's had serious hits or serious misses in the last few years. I mean, that's kind of like common for every game. But like, Sony has had a lot of misses for games as a service games specifically. And I think this might be their biggest win for an actual games as a service game.
Online multiplayer game,
and it's deserved. This one is good.
Can't really do the whole online multiplayer thing because it's pre-release. That's obviously not going to be ideal for reviews. Perhaps they wanted to avoid that, but certainly for a lot of people, well, yeah, it did set a few alarm bells ringing. And while those alarm bells were going off, we were then hit by some technical concerns.
Yeah.
Arrowhead basically announced that there would be kernel-level anti-cheat as a part of this game on PC. Now,
I don't know what Beliar's going to say, but I just want to point out, any good anti-cheat is kernel level. A lot of people are getting pissed off at Riot Games because League of Legends is adding their Valorant anti-cheat to League of Legends. And a lot of people upset, don't realize that good anti-cheat is kernel level, frankly. As invasive as annoying as it is, them's the breaks, kid. But the other problem is that a lot of people who are complaining about it for League, they're like, oh, we don't even need it for League. Dude, League of Legends has a lot of scripters. And I've played the game since literally the inception of League, so I know. But man, a lot of people cannot tell who's a scripter or not. I think that's one of the big problems. So they don't know how much of a positive difference it's going to make in terms of cleaning up the cheaters of the League community. It's going to make a big difference. It really, really is. Vanguard, which is asked, maybe, but I mean, getting mad at Vanguard for being Vanguard is fine, but getting mad at it for being kernel level, I think, is a bridge too far. Because, like I said, really good anti-cheat needs to be kernel level, frankly, at this point. It's very standard, as Greatest Goose says.
Typically, kernel level anti-cheat is something that's only really brought out for games where competitive integrity is extremely important. The likes of, you know, Valorant, Call of Duty, of course, suffered from a very, very large cheating problem.
And they don't have kernel level. At least they didn't. And Escape from Tarkov's anti-cheat is not kernel level either. And let me tell you, it shows. Escape from Tarkov, while I love that game dearly, we play it on stream often, the single biggest issue of Escape from Tarkov is the number of cheaters. We've run into cheaters on stream. Now, granted, it's not too many, which is good. And I kind of just avoid fights in general, so maybe I just don't run into the cheaters. But, yeah. You know, I would not mind having a kernel level strong anti-cheat for Escape from Tarkov. I really wouldn't mind it. If it would curb that problem. That is the single biggest problem of that entire game. EFT's anti-cheat is a joke. It is. I completely agree.
They went for kernel level anti-cheat as well. So a lot of people would say then, well, why does a PvE game actually need this? Is it too much? Now, that's actually stuff that the developers have spoken to. So Peter Lindgren, who is their technical director, basically talked about balance and that kind of thing, saying that shortly after release
I don't mind
Helldivers 1, they noticed a cheat going around that granted 9,999 research samples. But any non-cheaters in the same mission would also be granted those research.
That's insane.
Samples, and that essentially meant that the people who didn't cheat, because they were put in a party with
it's true. Like, dude, any online game with cheaters, it screws over people even in a non-competitive game. Remember, guys, do you remember when oh my god, here's a couple of examples. Way back in I guess the prime example, Dark Souls 2 and 3. Dark Souls 2 and 3 had a massive cheating problem where someone could drop an item into your world, and you would think they're just like a random nice guy that you were dueling, and you know, you won the duel, so they just decide to drop an item, and the item is a cloned item. That cloned item on Steam would get you banned. Your account permabanned on stream. Or on Steam. Like, period. For all online gameplay. It was terrible. It was a freaking epidemic. I was really lucky I was not even a Souls player at the time. I only heard about that issue. But yeah, it was a gigantic issue. And the people that got banned, a lot of them, they just didn't know. They picked up an item. They had no idea they were picking up a spoofed item or anything. And it completely screwed their entire Steam account over. They had to appeal their Steam account for months before they got their account back. Cheats ruin games in a non-competitive sense absolutely all the time as well. 100%.
People who did cheat, they then had their entire progression ruined through no fault of their own, and it bypassed the intended design. So that's
another example is GTA 5. GTA 5 does have some competitive components, but even if you're not in the competitive component, getting like bugged and cheated money drops and stuff like that, you could get your entire GTA 5 account banned. And cheating was and is rampant in that game. Now, I don't like the monetization in that game, to be fair. However, I think cheating is also just really, really bad. I would not say, oh, monetization sucks, so cheat. I would not say that. I would just say, like, the monetization sucks and the cheating sucks. By the way, guys, we're at 40 concurrent viewers. For anyone who doesn't know, anytime we hit 40 concurrent viewers in our beautiful live stream, we start a tailor-made giveaway. It's open, completely free. All you need to do is be following the stream in order to join the giveaway. Type in the chat, !join to join the giveaway. We'll leave it open for a little bit of time. You definitely hop on in And if you're watching the YouTube video, we do this anytime we had 40 concurrent viewers, which is very often in the stream. I've done over 187 giveaways and countless more. So hop on in and enjoy the good vibes while we're live at CapCorgi on Twitch.
Essentially why they're trying to do that. I don't think it's 100% necessary, but I can see from their perspective, it's like, okay, look, there's a big gun, it has a pretty high chance of success, we shall just use the big gun and take our success, because not using the big gun is a lot harder, and it just opens up a big nightmare for us when we're already going to be busy.
And it's like a balancing nightmare as well.
Thinking about how we started today's video, it's with that quote from the CEO. So how do you kind of match what he is saying with this being, you know, the live service games model? So Helldivers 2 both is and is not a typical live service title, and that's where it's interesting. So it has a battle pass. It's called the War Bond system, which I suppose is a pretty good, like, macro narrative way to do a battle pass, just saying it's a war bond. But these basically require to use another currency called medals. Those are earned through completing missions.
GTA 5's microtransactions were either monetization was either cheat, microtransaction, or grind the next 5 months. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know why? Because anytime a game adds microtransactions, they have to balance around the microtransactions. One of the reasons that Helldiver 2's microtransactions are so non-invasive is because the balance is made to be that way. That you can get most of the stuff for free completely, and you can get the premium stuff for just, you know, grinding out a bit. And as a result, they didn't need to focus on the microtransactions. They did not need to monetize that much. And it's just balanced around that way. When a game like GTA 5 is balanced around progression being the in-game currency money, whatever, they want you to spend money. And as a result, they're going to make you need money. They're going to have money sinks in the game and so on and so forth. And any free-to-play player will feel much worse for playing it. That is exactly why. That is exactly why.
Daily missions, they can also be found
I agree with you.
as loot, where there's some like risk reward there. Now these bonds are working on a progression model in that there will be a selection of cosmetics, emotes, premium currency, and weapons to unlock. And the first,
that means I've just playing the game for 2 nights. If 150 super credits is $2, I have earned, just by playing the game completely normally, I have, and not even that long. I've only played like a total of 7 odd hours of the game. Last night and the night before were the only nights I've played of this game so far. Loved it so far, loving it, but I've not played that much. In that short period of time, I have earned almost $10 of premium currency. That is an example of the monetization in this game, or lack of, as in like the very generous monetization in this game, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool.
One is free to everybody on launch. Now, here's the bit that I think is really the detail that makes all the difference. They're borrowing something from Halo Infinite, where war bonds don't expire. The battle pass doesn't expire.
Zero FOMO in a live service game. Can you imagine? Zero FOMO? By the way, for anyone who doesn't know what FOMO is fear of missing out. It is a thing commonly used in live service games that they'll make things timed exclusives. And if you don't spend the dosh for a certain season or whatever, that cosmetic that you had your eye on is gone forever. So it's going to make you want to pay the money. It is incredibly, incredibly, horrifically manipulative. And this game does not do it at all in any way, shape, or form. Big W.
It is essentially a matter of, you know, unlocking what you would like and then working towards it, which does actually mean if you put money into a war bond, it's not going to be deleted, which obviously is something that sucks. Imagine you say buy an Overwatch 2 battle pass, life gets in the way, and you basically feel like you have been completely...
Overwatch 2 is like the prime example of how to not do the battle passes and everything, by the way. Like, Overwatch 2's battle pass system and monetization is one of the worst things. Oh my god. Holy shit, it's so bad.
screwed in a way that does feel profoundly unfair. The idea that you are buying something and it just kind of gets taken away. And I would say it also causes a problem for the Overwatch developers in progression. What if you finish the current season and you're like, okay, well, I kind of want to play more Overwatch, but I've ran out of
I'm not getting anything out of it.
Rewards because of how this system works.
Yeah.
Well, in a game like Helldivers or Halo Infinite, you could just load up a previous battle pass that you bought. I would certainly have to wonder, though, is that something that Blizzard doesn't do because they would rather, say, take something from QuestWatch and then recycle it into the store where they can make, comparatively a lot more money off.
I don't know what QuestWatch is, but I can tell you they're doing it because of money. They're doing it because they want more FOMO. More FOMO equals big, good, more money. That is it. And more money means more shareholder money. More shareholder money means stock price go up. More stock price go up mean big good for all the Blizzard execs. That's all. That is all they care about.
Yeah. Maximizing revenue.
the sigh. Yeah, exactly.
Probably does come in the way of a good and fair design for most players.
Yes.
Now, this game does also have a premium currency that you can purchase with real money. They're called super credits. Yeah, super credits for Super Earth. 150 for $1.99 and 2,100 for...
It's not even... So it's saying rarely. I just want to point out. So you can find the premium currency in the middle missions. We found, like... I think we Diddles and I played like maybe like 7 odd missions. We found the premium super currency thing in literally over half of the missions last night. Over half. They're like a little bunker that you unlock, and there's this like chunk of it just sitting there. You just pick it up, and you don't even have to survive the mission. You just take the super currency home, even if you lose. That's really nice. Like, that is like League of Legends level monetization. In terms of League of Legends, just playing the game gets you little boxes, it gets you little keys, and you use the little keys for the boxes, and you get a random skin. If you don't like it, you can re-roll it, or you can, exchange it for the in-game currency to unlock a skin shard that you actually want. League of Legends does a really good job with their microtransactions as well. Now, their cosmetics that are premium that you want to buy at the time, they don't run out. That's a good thing. But the price of their skins are incredibly high, some of them. Like, it's like $30 for a skin sometimes. That's kind of a bit much. Valorant is, however, just inherently worse as well, just to let you know.
$19.99, but you can actually find the premium currency as loot
very
rarely in the middle of missions.
Not rarely.
And the developers have estimated at launch that it's earnable at a rate of 10 to 40 super credits an hour, and the premium battle pass costs 1,000 super credits, while an individual cosmetic item, like say a helmet, a cape, armor options, those are between like 75 and 250 in a row.
So, I am actually... in 2 days of playing, chat, just normal playing, 2 days of playing, 7, let's just say 7, let's be generous, 7 hours total of playing Helldivers 2. Granted, 1 hour is just in the tutorial blowing myself up, just at various times. I have already earned 1/4 of the way to the premium battle pass. If I just wanted to buy the premium battle pass with just the in-game super credits that I'd get just from playing the game. That's insane. That is really, really, really good.
Shop. Now, if you're going to be earning, let's just say 25 an hour, that actually does mean that some of those cosmetics are readily within your purchase range by just playing the game.
Crazy.
Obviously, this is something you could then, and look, I'm not trying to wail on Overwatch 2, it's one of the stories that I think more people understand.
Hey, dude, Overwatch 2 is like a loot pinata, man. Wail on it. They deserve it. Blizzard has had quite a few W's recently. Overwatch 2 ain't one of them, man. Overwatch 2 is certainly not one of them. Hit them where it counts.
And it's what immediately
otherwise
comes
nothing
to mind
changes
for me. Now, I'm sure you remember how the currency, at least initially at launch, your premium currency unlocked via the weekly challenges. It was so slow that it would take like 9 months or something like that to purchase a legendary skin. And to people that just felt absolutely ghoulish. it does seem here that that is not the case. Beyond that, then, there's some other upgrade
currencies.
Hirosomi,
welcome, my friend.
Your abilities,
You're doing some just chatting.
That is earned
Great
via
to see
gameplay.
You,
so as far as a live service goes, right, there are premium cosmetics, but it does seem that they are not disproportionately, but as compared to some other live services, they are a bit more generous with how that premium currency can be earned in game. Yes, they
very generous. I just want to point out, I am 1/4 the way to unlocking the premium battle pass while not spending a single dime in the game, just playing for 7 hours. It's insane. And Traveling Gamer asked, is the battle pass become self-sufficient if you complete it? Meaning, if there's premium currency in the battle pass, do you earn enough to buy the next battle pass? I have no clue. I've actually not looked at this stuff in the premium battle pass yet. Next time I play, though, if you're here, remind me, and I will happily look at it on stream with you. Very, very happy to. I can tell you that in the free-to-play battle pass, just the free one, you can get the premium currency in that. So I'm assuming you probably can in the actual battle pass as well, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm not 100%.
Do have a battle pass. That is a battle pass, though, that doesn't expire. So if you are doing a battle pass, that absolutely is the gold standard way to do one. Now, there has been some concern about the war bonds because there are weapons in the war bonds, right? So in a war bond, you can get different versions of core weapons. Now, some people would worry that these are a pay-to-win thing. Ultimately, they have slightly different stats, but they're not necessarily better than the free war bond weapons. And of course, they all still have to be unlocked using the medals that are earned through gameplay, so it's not like you can just immediately go and buy a gun. Now, this is where we're going to go back to...
I have not seen any crazy psychotic, like, you know, pay-to-win player in this game so far. We played with quite a few randoms. None of that. Like, dude, the levels matter. So, like, I'm only level, what, 12? 15? Something like that in the game. And I play with, like, a level 25 or whatever. That unlocked, like, a whole bunch of weapons. Holy smokes, that was loud. Thank you so much. Hirosomi, you rock. I love you tons. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. For the sub, buddy, it means the world. 33 months and a countless more. You're an amazing part of this community. We love having you here. Enjoy the adorable, adorable emotes. Darkshade, I can tell you, Helldivers 2 is the exact kind of game that you like in terms of like a third-person cooperative shooter. And I love it. I've been playing the crap out of it over the past 2 nights, Darkshade. And I can tell you, it gets my big W vote. One of the big reasons is, A, it's really good. And B, it is also very not pay to win. And also, like we're talking about here, the monetization is very nicely done. Okay, but this isn't Star Rail. That's true. The lovely Devil Puppy. That's awesome, my friend. Congratulations. I have a very losing win rate.
Johan's comments on earning the right to monetize, and he's essentially arguing that it's not pay to win for that reason. So he responds to this tweet, pay to win in Helldivers 2. You can actually play the damn game to earn super credits, lol. Again, people just saying shit.
Exactly.
So that is somebody responding to the concerns.
I don't know if he's going to read it.
He then responds to that saying, I'm partial, but we really applied ourselves to not make it pay to win,
and it
even though items are functionally different. The only item that's pay to win is the revolver, which you can win any cool gun competition. Only minor problem is it's not that good.
So he's like, yeah, the revolver looks cool, but it's actually trash. That's it. That's in the premium currency, by the way. Game-wise is trash as hell. That is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. Oh my god.
So kind of making the joke that like, yeah, look, we're going to sell
you a sense of humor,
looking revolver, but it's not like it's going to be better. But of course, in a world where you're actually earning a decently meaningful amount of that premium currency via regular-ass gameplay, I think to people that's going to be a...
Dude, I only have 7 hours of the game. Like, it's really not that even long to get the premium currency. It's great. It's insane.
Sort of thing. So as an example for earning the medals currency, like that's done via, in one case, the daily challenges.
How much is Helldivers?
As an example, one of those is just killing 200 bugs, which is very much something you're going to...
We can check. We can check. I can check Helldivers right now. Let's see. Store page. I got it as a gift, so I'm pretty sure it's 40. Yeah, $39.99, $40. Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. I don't even know what you get in the bundle, actually. What do you get in the bundle? Is there like a premium version or whatever? Oh, no, I think that's what Helldivers 1 is in the bundle. Oh, no, Super Citizen. What does Super Citizen mean? I'm just curious what the... Since we're... Okay, you get some cosmetics. And you get the... Oh, you get the Battle Pass. How much was that? $20? Worth it. Honestly, like, the thing is, the the currency and the monetization situation is so generous for this game. It makes me almost want to spend money on this game. Like, it's like League. I don't feel the need to spend money, and as a result, in League, over the years, I spent a lot of money. Not on this, stream account for CapCorgi, but way back when I first started League, I spent like hundreds of dollars on League. Why? Because none of it was required, and they did such a good job, I just couldn't help but do it. But yeah.
Doing in this game anyway.
Wait, you're telling me I can get Palworld and Helldivers for less than Skull and Bones? Yes. Yes, you can. Exactly. For less than Skull and Bones Traveling Gamer. Yep. 100%. And both of them have like almost, I wouldn't say infinite content, but it has like almost certainly way more content than Skull and Bones does. Granted, I've not played Skull and Bones, but it looks very likely it'll be way more content than Skull and Bones. Also, friendly reminder, giveaway is active, everyone.
As for the other things, right? So any season that comes from Helldivers 2 is essentially a always-on campaign that sees the available player base trying to complete missions on the same planets, and essentially it's like a big population-wide goal.
So wait, the entire bug thing and the entire automaton thing, those are seasons. Oh, dude, I didn't even realize. It just was so not in your face that I didn't even realize I was playing in a season. That's crazy. I love it. That's actually really well developed. So basically, for anyone who hasn't played Helldivers, they have like certain like mobilization offensives where they have like a line of planets to like liberate, right? And that like entire narrative is the season. You don't even realize that you're like being put in a season, but it just narratively makes sense. It is not immersion breaking. It's a lot of fun. You feel like you're progressing as like a population of gamers playing the same game, the big war effort and so on. And yeah, I didn't even realize until Bellular just said it. Fuck, there you go.
And when you complete that population-wide goal, say liberating a planet,
not yet Traveling Gamer
playing will of course be getting rewards. So essentially the monetization is simply unlocking some other ways to progress or cosmetics. It's all quite geared towards just playing the game. And overall, from everything that I've looked at, opinions seem fairly reasonable.
Shocker that they focused instead of monetization on actually just making the game good. And the game is good. It's weird how that happens. It's wild. I can't even imagine. Like, man, who would have thunk? If you focus on making the game good, the game's good? What, is it that easy? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean there? I don't have to have FOMO in the game. What do you mean?
I mean, the overall design here, like, you don't play a dude. Right? The thing you're upgrading is your ship, your armory. It's not like you're upgrading your dude's weapon. You're upgrading the armory of your ship to have that better weapon. Because whenever your dude dies in Helldivers, that's canonical. And another one hell dives in from your ship. Yeah.
It's like a clone.
I mean,
but yeah.
A bit of 40k, bit of Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
I think it's overall a pretty neat way of doing it, and the way that they're kind of doing their campaign.
Nice stuff, Puppy. That's awesome.
You know, you'll go to a planet, you'll go to a sector in the planet, you'll actually be able to join into somebody else's mission via that UI. I think it's just an overall...
And it's super smooth to join random people's games. The gameplay with having, like, you know, diddles and so on and so forth, members of this community join in to my game was super, super smooth. Extremely easy to invite. Just Steam friends with someone. That's it. It's really, really easy.
Framing that is really, really smart. And again, remember, this is like a $40 game. This isn't a full $70 situation.
$40 only.
You know, let's think about Ubisoft and Skull and Bones again. That's of course coming out.
Wow, it's amazing that you would talk about Skull and Bones. Who would have ever made that comparison? Dude, Bellular is so smart. We made this comparison. Bellular agreed. I'm so smart. Holy shit. Bellular is brilliant. This is
Pretty
why
much
he's so
any
smart.
time right now. I believe by the time you see this video, you'll be...
Anyone who ends up agreeing with me is already just automatically smart, by the way. That's how it works. That's how intelligence works. I'm kind of memeing. I'm partly memeing. You bought Helldivers? Hell yeah, Darkshade.
Able to pay, you know, $100 or whatever it is for the premium version of Skull of Bones to play it a few days early. And that's an example of very much, you know, live servicey game,
yep.
$70, then monetization, whereas this is sailing in at, I think, $40. And in terms of value proposition, from looking about the place, it really does seem to be great. Now, all that's well and good, but what happens if your launch is a little bit of a disaster, which unfortunately for this team, it was.
It was a little buggy.
I'll quickly go over things, but basically you were dealing with pretty 50-50, like very, very mixed Steam reviews. People were having matchmaking not work with anyone but friends, crossplay breaking the game, progression not being logged, and of course, you know, whether you actually get into the game at all, that was also a pretty dicey affair. So what happened is the team basically fire-fought here throughout the weekend. They ended up increasing their increasing the cap on their server. So initially them and their service provider were planned for 250,000 concurrent players. They upgraded that to 360,000 concurrent players.
Suffering from success. You love to see it.
But as soon as that upgrade was done, well, they went...
Same thing happened to Palworld, by the way.
So you can see the peak player count in Steam was just shy of 200,000. You've then got to remember...
Holy smokes. 200,000? That's, for a game like this, that's insane.
Remember how many people actually have PS5s and will have been playing this game. So yes, absolutely, this is a humongous success
only
of a
Steam.
launch in raw player numbers, but certainly
that is not including PS5. And when Xbox, you know, the Xbox version comes out, it's not including that either. Actually, no, sorry, it's not Xbox. Sorry, it's not including PS5 at all. It's Sony, so it's not going to come out on PS5, Xbox.
Sentiment because of all of these problems. Now, the thing is, what happens if you have been firefighting all weekend? Well, they essentially had to explain this. For now, please once again accept our sincere apologies for the issues you're facing, and rest assured we're doing our utmost to make it right. In order to do so right now, it is crucial that our team gets some sleep, and we will be back at this again in a few hours. So you're literally getting to the point now where those human factors on the team, those are playing in, where people just need to get like 6 hours of sleep in order to do anything useful. I suppose the development team are maybe getting a little bit too close to the satire of their game for comfort with that.
Nice.
But as we're coming into this week, it is turning out...
What was that giant ass bug? I haven't fought that yet. Dude, what was this?
The team,
hold on, let me replay this.
People just need to get like 6 hours of sleep in order to do anything useful. I suppose the development...
I've not even seen this Tesla coil thing yet.
Team are maybe getting a little bit too close to the satire of their...
Like, I've seen this big one. This big boy. What is this? What is this big chungus? Oh, Lord, he coming. I have not seen this guy in the game yet. And I played for damn near almost 10 hours. 7 hours, 8 hours. I've not seen this guy at all.
But as we're coming into this week, it is turning out that audiences are feeling willing to forgive the game for all of that. We are now at...
Almost like if you put forth good effort and you have a very understandable thing that's going on and you put forth the effort to try to fix it and you have good monetization and good game mechanics and, you know, everything else is good, gamers are very forgiving. They will absolutely cut you some slack. Yeah, true. Hey, Pat, I haven't played with you yet, man. I played all last night and the night before, bro. Welcome, my friend.
75% on Steam, where we were more like 50-50. And ultimately,
hope you're doing good.
People do kind of love Helldivers too, to the point where this
for
is,
good
in
reason,
fact, the biggest launch PlayStation have ever had on PC.
Am I going to play Helldivers tonight? I might. I'm planning on playing an indie game that just came out. The Deep Rock Galactic Survivors. That is the game that we'll be playing after this.
That is honestly quite massive. Like, you had the likes of, say, God of War, I think.
Around this weekend? Hell yeah,
they have
I'll definitely play this weekend.
But for this to be the biggest, I think makes...
I might play it afterwards,
well,
though.
It's a big deal, but it also does make, I think, a fairly interesting point. So, number one, we're...
Heard mixed reviews of which one? The Helldivers? No, there's no mix, man. This is good. This game is good.
seemingly not seeing a cannibalization of the PlayStation sales. I
DRG?
think for a game like this,
Oh, no, it's
that
good.
does actually make quite a lot of sense.
Deep Rock
I think
Galactic
a little
Survivors
bit
is
different to
legitimately
very
a good
single-player
game.
experience. Like, you're just going to want to buy access to this game and play it with people, so the network effect afforded to you by just having crossplay and it being on more devices, that's just plainly a useful thing. But also,
Yeah.
$40. $40.
That's fair.
So it's $40 for a systems-driven, gameplay-focused experience with very dynamic, varied gameplay as you're playing different maps, different objectives. It's got a core game design that I think just naturally lends itself to making very, social.
Oh my god, it looks like it's a face with a smile. Holy crap. This is such a good helmet. This is such a funny looking mask. I need it. This is so good. Look at them choppers. Yeah, exactly. Look at them choppers. Hamshank! Welcome, buddy. We miss you. How have you been? Great to have you back, my friend. It's been a long time.
Media spreadable moments, even down to things like how they're how they're approaching friendly fire. At the same time, we're seeing monetization that doesn't feel egregious to the audience, and that's just meant that loads of people are playing.
Pat, you missed the first time I played Helldivers. So first of all, I got myself killed a couple of times in the tutorial, which is hilarious. Second of all, the very first mission I did, I launched in Helldivers, the very beginning first mission. Julian, who I played other games with like Tarkov and so on, he decides to hop in. And the game wasn't really clear if there was, friendly fire or not. And so I'm like, hey, Julian, 1 second, I gotta check something. One tapped him in the head, and I'm like, oh my god, I killed you. It was so good.
This damn game.
I was like, all right, that's good to know.
Even though the servers right now are they're visibly strained, people are broadly speaking pretty damn happy. So I think it just goes to show what matters to an audience.
Hamshank, I'm so sorry, buddy.
Of things an audience is
Hope
kind
you're
of willing
recovering
to
well.
If a developer
Big
is
love.
open about what they're doing,
We miss seeing you, my
about
friend.
those human factors, and when it comes to monetization and things like that, is actually being fairly reasonable. I mean, if this is a game that had, say, 4.
Zach has more team kills, I'm shocked, Pat. I'm truly shocked. This is my shock face. Dude, Zach has killed me, team killed me, more times in all of our games combined than maybe literally anyone else on the literal planet. In any game, ever. Straight up. Zach is like the king of team killing, man. He's the absolute king of it. He's a god. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Today he landed on me as I spawned him in when he joined my game. That's about right, man. That's about right.
Day early access for a
I love
$80
it.
or $70 like digital deluxe edition, and then you have
What
these
level are
server
you, Pat?
problems
I'm only like level
would
15.
just not set a good tone for the game. And to be honest, that's the kind of thing that Diablo 4 ran into, where yes, like its first season, which obviously did come a bit later, but its first season, it had some problems.
Season 1 sucked for Diablo 4. It was such a backstep.
People already felt like it was a pretty expensive launch. People were surprised, I think, about some of the stuff in the store. And that just led to a community sentiment that was not going to be super forgiving to Blizzard. Whereas here, I think they've managed all those soft factors pretty damn well. So ultimately then thinking about this, well, number one, the lack of reviews, I think, is a genuine problem. And even though there's a load of great things in this story, even though like their CEO being quite refreshingly open about how the monetization is
Wait, you could shoot down the automaton ships? We just let them spawn their dudes.
We're surprised, I think, about some of the stuff in the store. And
let me confirm this.
A community sentiment that was not.
Dude, the automaton missions are so much harder than bug missions.
Going to be super forgiving to Blizzard.
Automatons
here,
murdering us last night.
Soft factors pretty damn well. So ultimately, then thinking about this, well, number one, the lack of reviews, I think, is a genuine problem.
I just want to see it. I just want to see it go down.
A load of great things in this story, even though like their CEO being quite.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Hey, Devil Bubby, whatever looks interesting. I fought the bugs at level 1, but you can fight whatever. Like, if you're, honestly, the game is quite forgiving, especially on the earlier modes. As in, like, the easier runs and so on.
refreshingly open about how the monetization is working and their principles. That stuff's great. But the review situation, absolutely, not good, right? Not good at all.
That's
Overall,
fine. That's
though,
fixed.
it is nice that some of the more Bungie-like decisions don't seem to have been made here. I mean, whenever we heard that Bungie were very much advising,
I don't even know what that is, Pat. I don't know what their ISR
you really would have worried that things will.
I've not even seen that yet.
If this gets,
I've only played about 7 hours
in terms of its monetization,
7-8 hours.
the way that Destiny has. Yes, we could have some sort of problem, but it does seem for the scale of the team.
Dude, I'm so jealous. Diddle's unlocked the jetpack. I haven't unlocked the jetpack yet. He's like a couple levels above me. I'm like, oh man. He told me, he was like, Corey, get ready. I'm Boba Fett maxing. He called it that. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he spawns in with a jetpack, and I'm like, what the hell? That's so cool. It was awesome.
Into this game, that this is something that they're just kind of, happy with. Players, I think, are fairly happy with this. And if you want people to purchase war bonds, because that's what functionally, funds your game, well, I think the game's price point being
it's a good price point
at $40,
very
helps.
Reasonable.
And the war bond not expiring along with all the potential cosmetics and things, that also helps a great deal. I mean, certainly compared to the, you could say, overcharge and underdeliver of Bungie, this is a very refreshing thing. And looking at the other Sony plans,
or cough Blizzard,
like with Concord, Fair Games, and some of the other things, if they are kind of going in the Helldivers direction, well, that's pretty damn good. And hey, see that like $30-40 price tag? Man, it really does work. Like we were talking about Assassin's
Welcome,
Creed
Mentor!
Mirage fairly recently. That was a $50 game, not a $70 game. Yes, it was a more contained experience, but that does actually seem to have worked for people, at least insofar as sales and revenue appear to go. You're looking at the likes of, say, Palworld and Enshrouded. And I think more and more you're just seeing that modern gamers are looking at the $70. And yes, you might get some more polish or some very expensive.
Not usually, dude. Like most of the $70 games are not polished. That's the problem. Most of them they come out as like uncompleted, incomplete pieces of shit. A lot of them. Not all of them, but like straight up. Some of them, man, brutally bad. For 70 straight up buckaroonies, man. Holy crap.
Looking visuals, but in terms of just raw playability, it does seem that things sailing in at that lower price point are actually being rewarded by the market right now. So there you go. That is basically the situation, and I suppose
see, the thing is, Devil Puppy, they actually hurt themselves by having such a high price point. Certain games, when they're unfinished especially, should not be full price. That's the big thing. Or by full price, I mean $70 full price. That's the big thing. Like, they make gamers like me angrier at them when it's not. Have you tried any laser weapons? Yeah, I picked up the laser rifle that a random dropped the other day. It was not very good. I didn't like the laser gun at all. I also don't like the flamethrower. I think the ballistic weapons so far are my favorite. The submachine gun, as in the pistol submachine gun, that thing spanks. It runs out of ammo real fast, but man, that thing is really, really fun to use. I like the shotguns. The shotguns are really, really fun. A lot of the guns are really, really fun. I've not unlocked a lot of them yet, though. I have the assault rifle, I have the longer rifle, the shotgun, and that's kind of it. I have 2 grenades.
Want to reward what we're doing with the market. That was a kind of awkward segue,
lasers like the
wasn't it?
flamethrower for machines.
Over
Yeah.
at bellular.ghost.io, that is where we have more and more. It's where you can get all of our content early and ad free. We've got loading screen. Of course, we're all hanging out on the
laser blows for bugs. Maybe that's why
as well. And
that could be why I didn't like it.
The number one way to
entirely
actually,
possible. I didn't like the flamethrower for bugs though.
Doing right now, the most immediate thing that I've been thinking
I team killed
of, like,
too much using the flamethrower
is upgrades.
Oh, I also have the
to,
grenade
like,
launcher.
sort of camera and show
grenade
presentation
nice.
for here. I kind of have a stage 1 of that planned out, and there'll be a quite a bit larger stage 2, I think, in the coming months.
Hell yeah.
So that's the sort of things that I'm thinking on how it is actually making.
As always,
okay, that's
W video from Bellular. I'm glad that he was able to go into detail about Helldivers. I really wanted to talk about this game and my thoughts on it, having only played it for 2 days. Hilariously enough, he put this video out 2 days ago. And I'm liking it. I would recommend Helldivers to anyone who wants a cooperative shooting experience with your friends. It is a perfect game for that. It might actually, so far, just 2 days worth of gameplay, it is my favorite game of this type. To, you know, join up with some friends, blast some random bugs and shit. It is absolutely my favorite game of this type so far. As in, you know, 2 days in. Loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it.